Morning, guys. Welcome to DJ's Fishing Recovery. Um, it's actually my worm I'm trying to get on. It's actually my first um, time at this lake, and I found a nice, good spot. Hope I don't get bothered. Uh, I have my license on the back of my hat, so I know I won't get in any trouble for what I'm doing. Oh, I'm ready to lose my bag. Hold on. Yep, I'm back. I use my bag for my bag for my chair. Um, Putting this juicy worm on here. I'm going after catfish today. You know, catfish sits on the bottom of on the lake. They're bottom feeders. So let's see what happens. You can cast this bad boy out there. See if I can do it sitting in the chair while I'm talking to you guys. You know. And again, welcome to my channel. Sit it right there. Um, Welcome to my channel. You know, at the lake is pretty peaceful for me. You know, I sit here and I think about what my life been through, what I've been through, and how I recovered. You know, years ago I was an addict. Um, I was an addict for 27 years, and I went through a struggle of harming myself, harming others, and mostly myself, because I was normally using by myself. Um, Started at the age of 15 years old. Um, Started with pot, smoking a little herb, hanging out with some older people, um, and wanted to fit in. You know, so I found the right crowd to fit in with. That's the one that was out there doing the wrong thing. Um, I did people things that you would unheard of. I was sexually abused in my addiction, through my addiction. And, I lost a lot of things in recovery. I mean, being an addict. I'm sorry. I lost a lot of things being an addict. I lost who I was, who I should have became. And now I become a member of society. Um, in October 4th, by the grace of God, I will have 20 years clean. 27 years. And I used to thought it was fun using. I thought it was cool using, getting high, drinking. You know, smoking pot was just the beginning. Then it escalated. It escalated to a rapid speed to by the age of 16, doing mescaline, acid, um, anything to get my mind off of my pain or what I was going through. You know, I used all the way into, I broke myself. I used to the point where my addiction took me to overdosing plenty of times, overdosing by myself, and having God pull me out of the fire. I used because there were so many different things that were going on that I was facing with in my life, where I let myself down. You know, I felt that I let other people down, to the point that my goals of who I was um, didn't matter anymore. You know, I was at the age of 13, 14, even 12. You know, I was on my way to being a superstar. You know, a superstar that would have took me to places where I wouldn't have been an addict um, if I stayed on that path. Ask me why did I veer off that path? There's a number of things. Number of things where I felt controlled at some point. Um, I didn't want to do things that I needed to be done to be that superstar. Um, Running was easy for me. It was real easy for me. Basically, any sport that came my way was real easy for me. Um, you know, I had my father's genes. I got my father's genes. My dad was a superstar of all superstars. He still is a superstar. You know, my dad ran cross country. My dad ran track. My dad played football. My dad played basketball. And that's who I was supposed to be, more like. dad. Um, my dad used to coach me in the early morning, coach me in the evening. He used to take me to cross country practice. He's my coach. He's my mentor. Uh, these are all the things that a father should be, 100%. And for me, when the pushing came um, to be pushed, um, I didn't want it to be pushed. Where it came to doing things that other kids were doing, I wanted to do. You know? And it's not to say that I wasn't able to do those things. It was just there were some certain things that I had to take a look at um, to where the next level of who I am. Um, I'm not the one to be bragging, and I'm not that person. But I was always up for a challenge. I didn't let anybody deter me. I didn't let anybody say that I couldn't do it. The only person that said I couldn't do it was me. And that's what basically took me off the course of who I am today, who I became when I was youth. I came my own destruction. Um, we all have a destruct button. Some people know how to control it, and some people just don't know how. And I was one of them people that didn't know how to control the destruct button. I was that type of person that if somebody was going to stop me from doing something, um, that I would push back. So I remembered uh, the turning point of my superstar, or who I was and who I was going to be turned. Um, it turned when I tried to take things and I tried to control my own destiny. So I remembered very distinctly. Um, I was at one of my older brother my older brother's football game, and I was there with my father, and I was just there to be a spectator. And if you know Joneses, if you know who we are, we always like to be in the highlight. even if we're on the field or off the field, because that's what type of push, that's what type of stride that we had. So I'm watching my brother play football. Excellent player, excellent athlete. Um, and some part of me was just like, uh, I wanted people to watch me like they watch him. So at that point in time, me being a spectator at his football, there was a group of young kids my age, a little bit older, and they were playing football on the side. You know how like young kids do, you know, um, doing that extra stuff where they're playing and they're having fun. Meanwhile, I know that I shouldn't be doing it. I shouldn't even be thinking of it because I was in training. And my father told me, stay over here, not to go over there and play because I was in training, because I was uh, getting ready for a race. And the turning point, the turning point to where I am Batman. There's nobody that could outrun me, could stop me. Um, and that's where I took my thinking as I went over there to play with these kids, and it was only touch football, where I figured in my mind that nobody will be able to touch me. All right, so we have a couple plays that went through, and I did what I said I was going to do, and that nobody would be able to touch me. But that third attempt to run back, a third play, broke my ankle. And at that time, I didn't know it, but that superstar left. That superstar did not exist anymore. Because now that's when the mind games start. at that point, that's when the defiance started. Because I knew my dad told me not to go over there. I knew my dad told me that I was in training for a race. And not to say that I did it on purpose. I did it to convince myself that I was untouchable, which I was for two plays. And then I pushed that destruct button. That destruct button went off. And I felt that I let so many people down, especially my dad. Oh, hold on, guys. Nope. I had a bite. I'm sorry. So the destruct button that I pushed led me to believe, and this is when I tell you everything that you believe is all in your head. Led me to believe that I let my dad down. I let my dream go, and I let his dream go to see me to be a superstar. Um, but that wasn't the case. Because now what happens is that so now what happens is that um, not only the mindset that I let people down, I let mostly down as myself. Because I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing in the methods of my dad's ways. I stopped believing in the discipline, the respect. And the thing about it is, it was never my dad's fault. It was my fault. So in my mind, I traveled in so many different directions that I just didn't know how to come back from that devastation to who I was supposed to be. My ankle never healed right. As much as I tried to get back, um, I just felt that it was a lost cause. So that I felt that I was a lost cause. generated my energy to different places. So as I move my thinking and move my thought process to different places, I was my own person, my own destruct button. And not to be defined or anything else like that or whatever the case may be, I just didn't feel that I was worth anybody else's energy as much as energy and time that my father put through, and he did everything for the good, and I just didn't see it. So I ran with that. I ran to New York with that. I ran to where I started using just to find who I was again. Um, and meanwhile, it was all in my head because the thought process of me not being that person anymore, that superstar anymore. I was trying to find that again. And I thought I found it in drugs because drugs took me to another place where that I felt part of again, that I felt whole again. And when you sit with your destruction, and when you sit with your destruction of your mindset, and you have that mindset in your head, now, some people out there know me. Some people out there know what I'm talking about. Um, Being an addict, everything else was history. As I would say, welcome to the land of Oz, because that's where I was. Um, I was in another mindset. I was like Rumpelstiltskin. Um, the guy that fell asleep at the tree and woke up, and he was in another place. I felt like when I was using that everything will be okay as long as I find that right drug to take me there. Everything will be okay. And I searched. Boy, did I search. Searched for a very, very long time. I searched through acid. I searched through mescaline. I searched through shrooms. I searched through cocaine. To the point where I lost control. Because every day was the day to get high. My mission was to get high after I started doing cocaine. my mission was every means necessary. All the fun was over with because I found that drug that would take me to another place. See, when I was on cocaine, I thought I could do anything and everything and anything that I wanted. You know, I was in bars. I was shooting pool. I was I was one of the best players in New York shooting pool at the age of 18 years old. And I felt like I can do anything. You know, at the age of 19, my first son was put up for adoption. And I never seen him born, never held him. Because certain people did not allow or believe that black and white should not be together. And evilness that they believe will always overcome. But that's another story. Um, you know, more will be revealed. Uh, I mean, you have to stay tuned up to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, D Jones Fishing Recovery. Because I have more fishing and I have more recovery for that person that's out there that's struggling. That has feelings or had feelings or going through feelings like I'm going through. I am not perfect. I don't know how to work this program to the best of my ability. But I do it as best as I can. Keep coming back. That's what they told me. Keep coming back. You're sick and suffering, tired of using. Make a meeting. at the end of your ropes, make a meeting. You need somebody to talk to. Go and make a meeting and find numbers and get numbers from people from Narcotics Anonymous. Narcotics Anonymous. They'll get you back on program. They'll get you back to where you need to be. A respectful member of society that believes in God and a God of their understanding. That can believe that all things are possible. So like and subscribe to my channel, folks. Give me a thumbs up for this video. And like I said, my story's not over. You got to stay. You got to plug in to hear more. I'm always available. So hit me down in the comments below, and maybe we can spark up a conversation where if you're struggling, you just need to talk. We'll go there. I have no problem doing that, because that's what helped me. That's what got me to where I'm at today. 19 years and 11 months today. I'm gonna buckle up. It's a journey. What do you got to lose? I'm gonna try to catch me a couple catfish right now. So that part of the segment is over. Let's get it. Let's get these fish. Alright guys, this is the lure I'm using. I'm gonna try to catch me some big mouth bass with this lure right here. You know what I mean? See what happens. Yeah, I'm catching nothing right now. You're gonna have to try another spot. That's what happens when you fish. You gotta keep on fishing, keep on changing spots to find a new spot to catch the fish. I think I got a spot for you. We're gonna go to a different spot.